But hello, everyone. This is another episode of Just Turn Heel, and we have
your girl, Josie Valentine.
So, what we try to do here, this is your show. We will ask you questions. You tell whatever is from your heart, or you want to lie to us. It's all good.
No, I can never lie to anybody.
You can lie to me.
I'm a terrible liar. My mom would spot me a mile away. So,
but she's not watching, so you can do whatever you want.
No, she's a big supporter.
Outstanding.
She follows.
Subscribe, please. So right away, I asked the question: what got you interested in wrestling?
Oh gosh. Okay. So, long story. I have an older brother. He's 14 years older than me. Right out of the womb, bam, he's like, hey, little sis, watch this. Right in front of the camera. Not camera, sorry, television. And I just remember watching SmackDown at a very young age, like the fist on the Titantron. I remember John Cena coming out. I remember the whole segment with him and Kurt Angle in, I believe, 2002 when he first debuted. But it was straight to the get-go. Day one out of the hospital, he's like, hey, like, you're going to be a wrestling fan whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So.
And introducing their opponent from Santa Clara, California, Josie Valentine! The one sweet deal medallion. If you cash it in on time. All right. Josie Valentine! Josie always wants to score. Smash, how are we looking over there?
I'm trying my best.
You got two more people. And
unfortunately, he's an alcoholic, has been for quite some time. So he's like, hey, like, I can't make it my dream. Like, I can't make this my reality, but you're going to take the torch and you're going to run with it. And ever since then, that's what I've been doing.
Outstanding. That's great.
But he's better now, so
Yeah,
he's
that's
been,
good. That's
he's been
good.
4 or 5 months sober.
That's
so
good to hear.
Outstanding.
I'm really proud of you, Michael.
Congratulations.
Outstanding. I asked this question, and I just love to see what people's answer. What match got you to love wrestling?
Oh, what match that got me to love wrestling? So there was a period where I was actually out in the country for quite some time. Did not have any cable or anything, but I'd go to my best friend Marilyn's house, and she would popped the wrestling on for me. Like, just as a good friend, she's like, hey, I don't like this, but here you go. I would have to say, growing up, anything with John Cena and Randy Orton, for sure.
Classics,
yeah, just knowing that they're, like, friends outside the ring, and then when they just get inside the ring, they're like, hey, like, it's business time. Like, let's do what we do best, and then go get drinks after the show or whatever. But just knowing that, like, it's just two best friends that are going at it with each other.
Yeah.
Well, chemistry is
something special.
important.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Like, you know, like wrestling as a whole, it's been evolving. So when I say match, but a lot of people always go to almost like the Attitude Era and stuff like that. It's and no matter the age group, that's where they're going. So I'm impressed.
Well, that's like the prime spot in wrestling too. It's so what as wrestlers everybody remember,
Yep.
like The Rock, Stone Cold, the Hardy Boys, like that's the go-to for a lot of these wrestlers coming up because that was the big thing. That or the Ruthless Aggression era.
Yeah.
Like she's a big fan of.
Yeah.
With John Cena, Kurt Angle, Randy, like that big group right there. So
Outstanding.
For sure.
So another question I asked: what does the Indies mean to you? What do you think it brings out? Because one of the things I pointed out to many people, I think it's very important, and I think so many young wrestlers are losing out because they want the instant gratification to being somewhere big and blah blah blah. But I think Indies are better because it exposes you to something different. So what does it mean to you?
Oh gosh, I will admit this harshly. I didn't know what the Indies were until 2017, which is terrible. But it was always WWE this, WWE that.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, there's something called ECW. Oh, hey, there's WCW. But what it means to me is, it means it's where you start. Like, where you start with school. Like, you know, you go through kindergarten, through first grade and everything. You make your way up to, you know, graduation of high school and then going through college. Like, it's where you basically make your mark upon the internet world or the outside world or just overall. But I'm going to go into a little bit of a rant.
No, go. That's
sorry.
why. No, you don't apologize. This, like I said, this is your show.
It really irks me that WWE is now looking for talent that, you know, is going through college and like the athletes where, you know, we have the indies going on right now. It's like, hey, like, look at us. Like, we're already trying to make a star out of ourselves. Like, we're putting our bodies on the line. We know the deal. We know how to travel. We know how to get our merch going, or an oopsie daisy if, you know, if we have a hiccup in our merch. But it just really irks me that they're going through, oh no, you got to have a college degree or going through college right now. But because I didn't go to college. I don't know if you guys went to college, but I didn't go to college.
Well, that's one of the things that I asked, because you said you didn't know about 2017 about the Indies system.
Yeah.
A long time ago, people heard the word Indies, but no one knew about it. Like, oh, this guy was an Indie superstar. Like, let's say El Generico, Indie star, blah, blah, blah. I think more people were like you, like, oh, we don't know what this is. Now, I was always looking around, like, when he was a little kid, well, you had to see this guy. This guy is going to be something great.
Yeah.
I always had that eye. And no one calls me. Go figure. But, I think it's a lost art. I think it's something that a lot of these wrestlers are not experiencing. And then if they, like, do cut, then they would go back to it. And it's like, either they really like it or they really hate it.
Well, they have to go back and kind of make their name again.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Cody's a perfect example. When Cody got cut from WWE, he had to re-image himself. And now look what he is today.
Have you guys seen, not to interrupt, but
No, you're fine.
Adam Rose?
Yeah.
Have you guys seen him?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like,
He's a
who's this
monster
dude?
again. Yeah, he's what he was in NXT.
Yeah.
And that's a good showing of what WWE was, who was running WWE, didn't have the eye for talent.
Yeah, and that's,
Now, under Triple H, I think indie stars
Yes.
are in his viewing.
like Javon Evans.
Yeah, Javon Evans. Yeah, you're a big indie star. I think nowadays Triple H can see that talent, and I think even with Tony Khan or everyone else out there, they see that talent. I think now it's more or less of like when Vince was around. It was more you have to be that certain image.
Yeah.
I think that's done.
Yeah.
If you have the talent, I think you're gonna get viewed more.
Yeah.
for sure.
For sure.
So I think nowadays for being an indie wrestler, it's the best time to be an indie wrestler.
Yeah. And there's more exposure. Like you said, it's far fewer between. Now, like I just found out Wisconsin, Kenosha, SSW. I didn't know about that.
No?
And I'm like this guy who's always looking all over the place. So it's almost like a nice surprise to see all these local indies. So I think that's a good thing. Now, this is a question that a lot of people. It's generic, and you hear it all the time. But two forums, part A, part B.
Okay.
Who is your Mount Rushmore in wrestling? One for like the vastness of wrestling, and the one you're personal. Like it doesn't even have to be like great wrestlers. It could be Twiggy Martin from Ohio who wrestled in like special shows.
I gotcha.
Okay.
Jeez, my Mount Rushmore. It's 5, right? 4 or 5?
4 or 5.
Okay.
You could do 20 if you want.
Yeah, if you really want
We'd be
to.
here all day.
Whatever you want.
That's okay. Marathon, watch Just Turn Heel, non-stop. Okay.
Let's see. Growing up, it would have to be, and now, John Cena. He was a big impact upon the hustle, loyalty, respect, just being good sportsmanship.
Yep.
Recently, now I want to say within the from the past few years, Kenny Omega,
Oh, yeah.
CM Punk, Randy Orton, and Shawn Michaels for
Wow.
sure.
First person that didn't mention Hulk Hogan.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I
Yes.
know, like him, I hate him. Everyone's
No,
mentioned
we
him.
get that all the time.
True.
Yeah.
We get that all the time.
You know.
I like that on Rushmore too.
Yeah,
That's nice.
That's really good with Kenny Omega.
And
I,
CM Punk.
yeah.
Oh
I-
yes, yeah.
I think Kenny Omega and CM Punk has the same thing, how they could get the crowd. Like
Yep.
everyone faults Kenny Omega, oh, you're not great at the mic. I think he's great.
He's phenomenal.
Especially his Japan, where
Yep.
he like spoke Japanese too.
Oh yeah.
I thought there was just another added touch, that he respected the culture.
Also, like his video game entrances
Yeah.
and like
Oh, yeah.
how in tune he is with the video games, and that gets a lot of young crowd, got people behind him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, that's really good.
During a promo in Japan, in New Japan, he sang like "Teenage Dream" by Katy Perry.
Yep.
During
Yeah.
a promo, I'm
Yep.
like, I don't know what this is, but I love it.
Yeah.
The Japanese crowd loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
and I
like,
think that's
"Oh."
what's important to get the crowd.
Yep.
Now your personal look, your favorite, picking out of anyone you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Can I help you out? Like,
Yeah, for sure.
there's this local guy named Perfection. You should have him on your.
Oh God, Perfection. He's kind of annoying. I'm not gonna lie.
That makes him special.
no.
Annoying is good. Just Turn Heel. We like annoying.
And we love heels.
Yes.
We love ourselves some heels.
Yeah. These
Of course you
faces.
guys do.
Yeah.
Even on the indie scene, I'd have to say Johnny CK. Big shout out to him. He's been pushing me to do more in-ring stuff. Like before shows, he's like, "Hey, we're gonna put a match together. Maybe a 5-minute, 10-minute match, whatever. Just get some practice.
great. Yeah.
Dust off the boots." I'm like, "Okay,
great.
that's for sure. That's fine." For along with bigger industries, Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay's pretty cool in my book. Met him a few times. Great guy in the ring. Great
We
guy
met him
out of the
too.
ring.
He was nice to us, but it's
Oh.
okay. That's okay. we're acquired taste. So, yeah.
I'd have to say John Cena again. Just in that book, I looked up to him growing up.
You saw him?
I'm one of those few people.
It's the glasses.
No, yeah, it's the
It's the
glasses. I know what he
glasses.
looks like. Very attractive man. So that's 3. Jeff Hardy. I love
Oh, he's
just the style
so
of
good.
him. Growing up, I always admired the makeup of
Yep.
him. And then just knowing he did the makeup himself, he did the sleeves himself.
And just the way he put his body on the line every match.
For sure.
I don't know how the guy's still walking.
Yeah.
I have a hard time waking up, you know.
I'm already sore. In China, despite people
Yeah.
knowing her wrestling and saying it's not the best wrestling.
I think she had a bigger impact, that she opened the door to the different view what women's wrestling is,
Yeah.
and her life, the
Yeah.
sad story, and it's just disheartening that she didn't get what she really deserved. That's
Yeah.
yeah. I'm not trying to be too sad here. So this is the question I ask everyone, and I'm so impressed that 99.9% is the same thing what people say.
Okay.
What do you think is the most important in a wrestler? The look, the ability, or the charisma?
I'd have to say the charisma.
Yep, that's what everyone. Only
Ding,
one
ding.
person deferred from that,
Ding, ding,
but
ding.
yeah, I think it's important.
Oh,
Getting the crowd. You could be, let's say you're like 5'5", chubby, but you could get the crowd.
Yep.
You could be a superstar.
I mean, look at Hogan.
Yeah.
Hogan had one of the worst movesets in WWE. But his charisma is fantastic.
Yep.
Yes.
He got the crowd behind him. He was American sweetheart.
Yep.
And that's all that matters.
Yeah.
You can have John Cena.
Yeah.
He has look at him. He has 5 moves that he does in the match.
5 moves of doom.
5 moves of doom. But his charisma and the way he gets crowds behind him, that's all that matters.
The thing I always mention, look at Bret Hitman Hart. He's one of
For
the
sure.
best in ring. Remember any of his matches? It's hard
Lee's
Shawn Michaels and him.
yeah,
and-
because of Shawn
Yeah,
Michaels.
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. Yes.
Shawn Michaels. Bret Hart, I thought always lacked charisma. He's insane in the ring.
Yeah,
But on the mic, I always thought he was just okay.
he made Todd McGee look like a superstar.
Just okay.
So that's a thing that, and again, I think it's really important. Charisma. Jeff Hardy, he did all the
Yep.
his charisma.
Yep.
What got him a little bit over from his brother? His brother's really good too, but Jeff is a natural charismatic person.
Yep.
Matt, it's forced,
Yep.
and you could tell that.
I remember growing up and my brother and I were we were wrestling together. I'm like, oh, I'm Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I want to be Jeff Hardy. I was like, no, you're the oldest. You're Matt Hardy. I'm like, don't go over there.
No one wants to be Matt.
But just before I enter the curtain or go through the curtain, like, that's on my mind. Like, how's the crowd going to react?
Yeah.
What can I bring different to this show? And successfully, every time I go out in the ring, it's a pop. Thankfully.
Yeah, that's always good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, always good to hear.
I'm always scared of just crickets. Who's this girl? I'm like, oh goodness, like I don't know how to react.
And you
But
show them in the ring
charisma,
who you are.
Yep, charisma.
Yep.
Very good. Right? Excuse me. Shouldn't be drinking early in the morning. Now this is, I didn't ask other people, women in indies. Because
Okay.
a lot of people say this is a harder to get into because it's so, this is what I heard. It's hard to get into because some people want this, but some women want to offer this. So to you, what do you feel women in indies and in wrestling in general?
I do know that women don't get enough respect than like we should. I've seen some top-notch moves from women, and then unfortunately the crowd's like, "Oh, it's a bathroom break." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, why are we still in the early thousands mindset of, oh, it's a bathroom break?" I was talking to one of my friends recently, and he's like, "Yeah, my brother and his kid, they like went to a WWE event. Oh, here's the women's. Okay, quickly, let's go do a bathroom break." So it's not even just on the indie scene; it's still on the main roster. But now, I've also noticed, or I've actually been told while training, like, "Hey, you're actually going to get more bookings than men," and that is 100% true. I've only wrestled for maybe 2 companies now, and I actually just got hit up from somebody in Arkansas. I've never heard of this company before. I don't know if they've heard of me. I don't know how they heard of me. And they're like, "Hey, we'd love to have you down here." And that's a few states away. And I'm like, "Oh, snap, I'm already getting this attention
That's
within
cool.
a year."
Yeah.
That's what you want.
That's
what you
awesome.
want, yeah.
But yeah, it's just really, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes we're not taken seriously. But with a lot more grinding and elbow grease, I'm sure in the hopefully next few years, we'll be just top-notch as the men.
As a follow-up to that, which company right now do you think is doing the best job for the women?
Ooh, that's a good question. For the indie scene or like just like
Both.
both?
Indie
Okay.
and the main. What do you think is doing the best for that?
Just because I'm only in 2 companies right now, I'd have to say Now That's Wrestling. The one company I got debuted on, Ragin Nathan Gus, the promoter, and Smash, they're both great. Like, I've wrestled Smash before, and he's like, "Hey, what do you want to do? Like, tell me what you want to do." And he does get upset if I get shy and I'm like, "Oh, I don't know, you know, just really hit me." And he's like, "No, more, like, you need a big moveset. Like,
Yeah.
what do you want to do?" So I'm a powerhouse. I can take blows. I've had my hair pulled. I've been
I do too. It's hard.
I've been hit in the gut, kneed in the gut. I've actually somebody accidentally stomped on my throat before. So it is what it is. But at the end of the match, like, hey, I came still strong out on top. But that is a good promotion for women to go out and like get their name. But they're really respectful with that too.
I have a follow-up. Just came up in my head now. Ooh. In the indies, more women wrestle men.
Yes.
And the comfortability, the ability, like I watch everything. Like in Europe, like SIW, it's Italian.
Okay.
The majority women versus men and stuff. So do you think that's a good thing to get them out there, or do you think it's almost like a gimmick match and you don't get the respect you deserve because it's a gimmick match?
Me personally, I think you get more respect if you wrestle men because some men don't know how to hold back their strength.
Yeah.
And like I said, like when I got stomped on the throat, that was against the guy. So it it really earns my respect when women go up against men. Entertainment-wise, I also think it's I wouldn't say boring, but it grabs my attention for sure. And then I also think that is also how, like, hey, this woman is going up against a guy and like it's slowly climbing the ladder of where we want to be at.
Well, I mean, like Chelsea Green was one.
Yeah.
She wrestled guys all the time in the scene, and her moveset was incredible against those guys. And that's what got her really acknowledged to who she was. John Gargano's wife, Candice LeRae,
I was going to say,
wrestled a lot of men.
she beat
in
the Young
80s.
Bucks by herself.
She beat the Young Bucks.
Keep on saying that every week.
They had her over the Young Bucks, and
Yeah.
it showed a lot of respect towards her, and got the eye opening from WWE. China was the leading one for that. She
Yeah.
won the
Yeah.
Intercontinental Championship. I agree with you. I think women wrestling men shows what the women can take, and sometimes those women get over the men, and it shows, and it opens a lot of eyes to other promotions as well. Like, if this woman is getting over this guy, she must be some kind of special in that company. So I agree with that.
Very true. Now, you kind of said it, you alluded that you're a powerhouse. So what's your wrestling style? And what, because wrestling, to be, at least this is my opinion, I could be wrong. A wrestler has to evolve.
Yes.
No matter what, you could start out as a high flyer, but you're getting older. Like, my example is the Great Muta. He evolved. He was this flashy guy in the beginning, then became this ground and pound, then he became very visceral and cerebral. So what's your wrestling style, and long term, what do you see what you could do with your wrestling style?
So, as you can tell with the heart, Shawn Michaels really inspired me. So kind of flashy, and then like I said before, China, with the powerhouse of that. I just wanted to show people that, like, hey, not only can women be powerhouses and take hits, but hopefully along in the future I can be something more like high flyer. Like, I, believe it or not, I used to be skinnier. I used to be thinner, so I'm hoping once I shed this weight off, I can just start bouncing off the ropes more and doing more stuff off the top ropes. Down in the
I like combo, powerhouse
Yeah.
and Robin High Flyer.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like, one of the things, I don't know if you guys watched Jordynne Grace.
Yes.
She was always a powerhouse, but her wrestling style evolved.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like opposite, because when you get older, and she's not that old, she's 28, but
Once you evolve into wrestling,
Yeah.
like, she's a powerhouse is becoming a technician.
yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's just amazing.
Yeah.
I know her husband probably helped her with it, but just watching her in the beginning, like, this she's never going to get past the hoop, no way, because it was kind of boring. But now watching her, I'm like, my goodness, this is amazing. So I like that. Okay, now this is the question that a lot of people misunderstand. Maybe I know I asked so many great wrestlers, and it's weird. Like, I maybe I'm an idiot. For wrestling moves to be protected,
Okay.
the example I always give, like the pile driver. Long time ago, you do the pile driver, it's over, 1, 2, 3, da 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 da. Now it's like a setup move, and no one even takes it, gives it respect. So, do you have some moves that you think, these moves should be protected, and no one should ever get out? Like Kenny Omega is the one winged angel.
Yeah.
Okay. Only he kicked out of it. So that's kind of a smart thing.
It's a small move, and it's played over and over again. Too much, a little bit. And it used to be my finisher. But now, since it's just, on repeat, it's kind of with a super kick.
Yeah, I there you go.
With a super kick.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know who to blame. I don't know if I should blame the Young Bucks. I
Yeah,
don't know
blame
if
them.
I should
I would.
blame
That's
the
who I
Indies.
blame.
I would.
I love the boys, but I hate you guys. But with Jimmy and Jay at WrestleMania, super kick after super kick after super kick.
Yep.
I was texting my brother through that match. I was like, "This is hilarious," as siblings, but as a wrestling fan, I'm just like, "Okay, what else? Oh, another super kick. Oh, okay, what else? Oh, okay, and a super kick right back." But I'd have to go with the super kick. It's because Shawn Michaels is going to come out there.
It was protected a
Yeah.
long time ago with Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
And then as the wrestlers evolved, it just becomes unprotected, and it's sad. Because that was, back then, it was like a cool move. Like,
Oh yeah.
that was like the harp, the sweet chin music, the setup and everything. It was just a cool move. Now it's just
And before that,
Chris Adams, right?
yep, Chris Adams. I'm an old guy, so
Chris
Chris Adams, when he came in and said his story behind like all these things, it's really sad to see these wrestlers. The guy invented one of the greatest moves, and no one cares about it.
Yeah.
Like, if you ask a lot of these novice, who's Chris Adams? Is that the guy that sells beer? No. Yeah, sad. Okay, let's see. This is the question I just added, so I don't know if I really want to ask it.
Go ahead.
With the various styles,
Okay.
what would you recommend in the indies, like the styling and stuff like out there? Like, for instance, in the indies, when you watch these, now they're pushing more like the hardcore, these death matches, like when we were talking about
Yeah.
Macadono and stuff like that WWE did know. Do you think it's helping the indies, or do you think it's harming? Because a lot of people, you can get butts and seats and eyes to watch, but do you think it's asking too much from these wrestlers? And again, I know the terminology, handshake and I can't even talk, hot dog and a handshake.
Yes.
It's, if you ask a lot of the young people, what the hell does that mean? But
Yeah.
do you think the style and how indies are trying to almost embrace this hardcore, do you think it's hurting or harming, helping?
I just want to remind people that wrestlers do not get paid as much as, like, Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, Chelsea Green, Rhea Ripley, like everybody that's
Danger
already up
Dan,
there.
he's like the highest paid. This guy.
I think, in my personal opinion, it is harming it. Now, here in a, once in a blue moon, that's totally fine. Like for a big special event at the end of the year, that's totally fine. But if it's month after month, show after show, hey, we're doing another hardcore match. Hey, we're doing a death match this time. It's just wear and tear on our bodies. And I took something that MJF said to heart. Like, he was speaking to wrestlers like, hey guys, like, just want to remind you, you're doing all these dangerous moves for people that are going to either take those viewings away from you and they're going to put it on their social media account and not give you any credit, or they're just going to up and forget, like, oh, hey, what match did you like? And then they're probably not even going to mention the match, that you broke your ribs in. So I personally think it is harming the indies, unfortunately.
Good job. Okay, this is the question I ask everyone, and the very first one gave the best answer. It was so heartfelt. It's just a great answer. One of the best guests we had. Yeah.
It was almost perfect.
It's almost, yeah. Okay, what is your ultimate goal?
Okay. It's kind of tricky because everybody says they want to get signed.
Yeah.
And everybody says, I want to, at the end of it all, be in the Hall of Fame, which is not a bad goal.
Yeah.
Me personally, I would like to travel more, see the world. My parents were big travelers, but unfortunately, growing up, we didn't have a lot of money, so they were like, oh, sorry, another summer vacation at home, which is fine by me. I played softball growing up, so most definitely traveling. But I also have baby steps to go along the line with that. So hopefully getting into AEW, even if it's AEW Dark, before I'm 30. I'm already 26. I'm feeling the pain in my knees, but.
Wait till you get in the late 40s.
But mostly, big thing is travel for me. I'd love to go see Europe. I'd love to go see Japan. I'm from a small town, in Iowa, so it's nothing but corn.
Yeah.
Nothing but corn over there.
She said corn, so okay.
With a C.
Yeah.
With a C.
Because some people get. Well, traveling. I think that's a cool thing, but. A second to that, I know a lot of these wrestlers went a different direction. I was going to say, what would your dream match be?
Oh, dream match.
Dream opponent.
Can I give you two?
You can do whatever.
He
This
was-
is your show.
he was
You
20
can do
for
whatever.
Get out of here then.
he was
Hey
20.
guys, this is Josie Valentine. It's my show now.
It's probably better. We're holding you back.
So, I would most definitely AJ Lee. I know it's Money in the Bank today, so
Yeah.
we never know.
And if you watch Everything That's Everything in Wrestling, we'll give you the results. No. Plug. Oh, no.
plug.
Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
AJ Lee most definitely, but unfortunately with her neck injury, I don't even know if I would trust myself since how small she is. So
It is a hypothetical.
Okay.
So it's a big
True,
hypothetical.
true.
This is an alternative universe.
Yeah, alternate universe.
AJ Lee is still the world champion. Never had injuries.
Jordan Grace for sure.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. I've seen her live once in Impact, and I was like, who is this woman? I was like, I love her style. And then that's when I kind of started following her on Instagram. I was like, oh, like she's kind of just like me, a powerhouse, if not more. And then I'd have to go for an intergender match, Kenny Omega. I would love to work with him inside the ring and just pick at his mind and see how he got his style from and where he got it from.
I would pick anyone. His stamina, I would be out like in the 2 minutes. No.
Yeah.
you could go wrestle by yourself in the ring for a bit. I'm just gonna sit this one out. Yeah.
That man made wrestling.
Exciting.
No, he was wrestling a doll.
Yeah.
It looked amazing. That match was incredible.
Didn't get like a 4.5
Yeah,
star.
that match was incredible.
He wrestled a 9-year-old,
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
young
yeah.
lady,
Yeah.
and people were ranting and raving, and the girl did not get hurt. That I think that's the most impressive thing. That's the real good wrestlers
Yes.
who could wrestle and not injure someone.
Yep.
Because a lot of these, like novices or people, will think it's really brutal, especially now when you see Gunther smacky people. You see the chest all bloody and all that. That aspect is still there, but the overall goal, even some people hate this, it's to entertain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not to kill someone. It's not to hurt someone. So
To make sure you and the guy are going home with the same paycheck.
yes,
Yeah.
exact. Well, I don't know about the same page.
Well, paycheck. You guys are healthy. These guys are healthy at least.
Yeah, it's, the healthy
The
part.
healthy part at least.
Okay. This is you. What advice would you give to someone trying to get into the business?
Ooh.
Some people didn't get this great question. I'm sorry. We're evolving too.
Where do I start? Because I'm also looking at myself like, if I could go back to the future and tell myself this, I guess I can also tell the younger talent as
Yeah.
well. If you are going into a wrestling school, dive more into it. Do more research. Unfortunately, I went to Black and Brave, not knowing that is the Yale or the Harvard of wrestling. I didn't have any experience in the ropes or in the ring. No matches under my belt. Just went in hot. Let's be a wrestler. Let's do this. I was fit. I had muscles. Nope. CrossFit and lifting weights are two different things. Save up your money as well. Save up your money because I've spent almost under 10K on training. So it's a lot of time consuming in the gym, working your job. I've worked more overtime than I can
It's commitment.
imagine.
It's commitment.
So it's time and money, for sure.
I know, side note, I think we mentioned earlier, I think that's the thing that these wrestlers who want the instant gratification are missing out. And I know it sounds harsh, but if you just get, oh, you're a superstar, you don't pay the dues, I think you take it for granted. For instance, I won't mention names, he wants to kill us. I think they just pushed him to the stars too early, and he actually is drunk in his head thinking he's a superstar.
Wardlow.
Yeah, he actually wanted to kill us. Go figure. Okay, here's a part B to the question. What do you think is the biggest misconception in wrestling right now? What do you think? Like, oh, that guy's a wrestler. He must be this. What do you think?
Just because. Oh, that's a good question. I'm stumped right now.
Just turn heel, stump wrestlers. No.
Hashtag Josie stumped.
Number one trend.
Just because they have the look doesn't mean they have the charisma, I guess. I'd have to go with that. Sometimes, maybe they're coming out all flashy, and they just don't connect with the crowd. They don't have that personality or like that side of them.
Yeah.
I'd have to say.
One of the things that when starting, like a lot of people say, oh, you're going to go reaching out to the low I'm like, what are you talking about low bar? Like in Japan, for instance, the example, wrestling is top notch.
Oh, it's like
Yeah.
It's an event.
It's cinema.
Yeah, it's cinema.
like
It's
once
an
in a
event
play.
that families, they're dressed in suits, they
Yeah.
want to go see. Even the mafia goes to watch it.
There's not a lot of clapping.
Yeah.
It's like formal.
It's
Yeah.
formal, it's
Yeah.
beautiful. Starting out wrestling in the United States was like that. Like, it's a weekend, we're getting the family together. But now, like, people have this misconception. Oh, it's fake. Oh, it's soap opera. But I think that's the sad thing because
Well, I think they get that mixed up.
Yeah.
Fake and the wrestling definitely is not.
no, that's the thing. That's the thing.
fake.
that-
They get hurt in their ring.
That's what I was
and
gonna bring up
They
as the
experience
mis-
a lot of pain, pushing through that pain. I think wrestling is the complete opposite of
Yeah.
fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the misconception, and like, I'm surprised no one ever said that. Only one person said that the misconception that it's a real combative sport.
Yep.
You will get hurt if you don't know what you're doing,
Well,
even if you do know what you're doing.
Jericho said it. Jericho said it's predetermined,
Yeah.
but what we do in there is not fake.
No, and I think that's one of the things. And I think, sadly, a lot of these fly-by-night fans, oh, I like this, and they're not getting. They're leading to these tribalists who are. I think that's what it's hurting wrestling even more. Like, oh, this guy. Well, for instance, and again, I'm not siding one way or the like when you have the phrase "we're the best wrestle." That almost sounds where the big boys play. I think when you push this concept, you create a domino effect that actually hurts. And then you have these fans, oh, I hate you. You shouldn't hate.
Yeah.
One of the things in wrestling, I think, which should be the most important, you want to see more success. If there's competition, you have a better product. If you have a better product, everyone feeds for a long time. But you have this, I hate this guy, or a bald big nose. It's just, I think it's stupidity. And I think that's another misconcept, like these people, like for instance, there's football fans. You don't have to like every team, but you understand, oh, this is football. I think wrestling never got that respect.
Yeah.
And for instance, now you hear like ESPN reporting stuff. But
Which
long
that's
time-
like phenomenal.
yeah, like they had the top 10 men's and women, stuff like that. I think now it's getting a little bit of the respect, but for the wrong reasons, which is, I think it's sad. Like, because I think some of these medias are egging on, oh, it's WWE versus AEW, and I think that's the worst possible thing. And some of the wrestlers are feeding onto it. It's sad. But that's just me.
It's crazy to have like, so I always got this same question as a 12-year-old kid, and I'm 26 now, and I'm still getting asked the same question. Is wrestling real? Does it hurt? My thing is, I didn't know how to respond as like, a 12-year-old kid. I'd never been in the ring. So I was like, oh, the storylines are fake, but the injuries are real. Like, that's all I could say back in the day. But now it's like, oh, sometimes the storyline is real, like with Matt and Edge back in 05.
I don't know how they
08.
kept them fresh at all.
Yeah. So, and then now being in the ring and getting my receipts, I accidentally, need one of my good friends, Chico, in the Nards, and I got my receipt. I got chopped in the corner. I was like, oh, yep, that's actually that stings. So it just varies, like depending on who's going up against who, and hopefully, like we mentioned earlier today, like at the end of the day, we just want to go home safe and healthy.
Outstanding.
It's funny you mentioned the receipts because I remember hearing Bailey accidentally hit Asuka hard,
Ooh.
and she was scared as hell to get that receipt. She was like, "I got a receipt coming that's gonna hurt." I think Asuka kicked her in the head or something like that. But that's the last person I want to.
Yeah.
But it depends what level Asuka. Now she accepted because when she was the
That was, I
best
think it was NXT Asuka.
yeah, that's
Ooh.
scary. Yeah,
fresh
that's,
from Japan.
Yeah, that's scary. Especially the Japanese wrestlers that are strong style.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
You don't want that receipt.
I just recently got a receipt from this mean guy, Perfection.
Yeah.
Uh,
I only heard good things about him.
I heard he's fantastic.
la la la.
Maybe you just did.
I mean, I did. I gave him. I believe it was a wasteland, and I went for the pin. And usually when I go down for the pin, I give an elbow drop. Well, I was a little exhausted. He was a big guy. He's heavy. I accidentally kneed him in the nads, or not kneed him. I elbowed him in the nads.
That's too.
And-
Maybe you have something against nads.
No, I swear.
I
to
think
God.
this is the problem here.
And then
You know how perfect he is?
Yeah. Hashtag save the nads.
A little too perfect. So I kind of had to knock it down one. So, but on my birthday, I got a receipt. I got a birthday chop. But he's like, there you go.
There you go.
I was like,
Happy
oh,
birthday.
I love it. And big old handprint. I was like, oh, okay.
Hey, it is. Especially on guys' nads. Come on.
Yeah, my bad.
Okay, the last question. Unless you have another question.
Actually, I have one big question for you.
Okay, cool.
When women's wrestling has evolved so much over the years, and you see this stuff that's going to WWE, TNA with their amazing women's division, what does that all mean to you as a woman wrestler? What does that mean, the evolution of wrestling, women's wrestling? They even had their own pay-per-view a few years ago.
Yes, yeah.
They should have
So
another
what
one.
does that mean for you as a women's wrestler?
Oh my goodness. It means it's outstanding. Growing up, I mean, come on, you guys remember the bra and panty matches?
Yes.
Let's go.
Yep.
No, not let's go, but
Yep.
That was my expertise. I was great at the brown. But the women steal my thunder.
just growing up on that, and then watching that, and my mom's coming into the living room. She's like, "What the hell are you watching?" I'm like, "I swear it's wrestling. I swear.
Yeah.
I
Wink,
swear
wink.
it's- I swear it's wrestling, Mom. Let's do this." Unfortunately, bathroom break. You know, because I'm 7 years old.
Yeah.
I'm watching this. Let's take a quick bathroom break. Okay, come on, come back. Oh, it's Triple H. It's John Cena. Okay, cool. Which isn't any better because it's men shirtless.
Yeah.
And speedos.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I don't know how
Yeah.
that's better than two women wrestling in the mud, but okay, whatever.
Well, I feel like
But-
the women got so disrespected back in the day.
Yeah.
It was just about the sex for them, not so much about the wrestling. Now it's all about wrestling.
yeah,
And
for sure.
I'll let you continue what you're saying.
No, you're
My
all good.
my fault. But no, I agree with you. It's so much more respectful nowadays.
Yeah. And then, move to a few years later, my best friend Marilyn was staying over, staying the night, and we were watching Monday Night Raw. And she's like, "Who's this?" And it's AJ Lee. And she's like, "She's a twig. She's tiny. I'm scared. I can't watch this, dude. Like, let's change it." I was like, No. I'm like, "You're going to love this." And lo and behold, I think Gail Kim was still in the business, if I'm not mistaken. And she just, AJ Lee just kicked ass.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh my God, like, who is this woman? I'm in love with her." I'm like, "I know, right?" I'm like, "That's
Yeah.
AJ Lee." I was
Yeah.
like, "She's gonna do great in the company." And then just continuing watching. Unfortunately, I kind of fell out of watching wrestling just because every weekend it's wrestling this, and then I work nights throughout the weekdays, so I'm sleeping all the time.
Yeah.
But just hearing good stuff, whether it's on Reddit, online, on Facebook, and knowing that we're here and where we started, it's just a dramatic change. It's just out there.
You know what? It came into my head right now. What wrestler do you think helped with the evolution of the women's wrestling that changed its course? I have one in my head. I want to see if you say the exact same one. Remember, I'm older, so I know the older wrestlers.
Ooh. I'm gonna. Because I'm thinking I'm in the mindset as you now. I'm going back.
You're in
back
trouble if
there.
you're in trouble if you're my. If anyone in my mindset, I tell people don't do that.
I'll have to go with, just from where I've started, Lita.
Yeah. No.
Just from where I started in wrestling, Lita was a big change for wrestling.
Yeah, and honestly, her and Trish Stratus, that feud was actually taken seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. Really?
I thought it was like it was taken very. It wasn't a lot of. There was no bra and panty match between them. It was.
Oh.
It was.
I thought you meant there's actually like heat between them.
No. I meant
Okay.
like, as first women's wrestlers actually taking it seriously with none of the bra and panty stuff. And
Yeah.
there's an actual good feud between those two.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
See, because I go back, Medusa Michelli.
Okay.
And Shay Martel too. A lot of people are aware that she was pounding ground. She was a wrestler.
I think Charlotte Flair had a lot to do with it too nowadays.
Yeah.
Nowadays. But,
Charlotte Flair, what I thought was the big backing of it, of like getting that first pay per view for women, and how dominant Charlotte Flair has been in wrestling. How much people want to watch her wrestle when she's back. Now Rhea Ripley and like, no, it's a great time to be a women's wrestler and to watch women's wrestling for sure.
Great time. Now we finish off. Promote yourself. This is probably gonna be on Sunday. See
okay.
if I have any time. So anything on afterwards Sunday. Tell us what you're gonna be. If you're gonna be in a promotion, if you're gonna fight, or you're gonna meet up for perfection and get a signature and stuff like that.
That guy is gross.
I think he's one of the
I'd
greatest.
get his autograph and then sell it, and then get like a penny or something.
Wow, that's his heart.
I'd buy it.
Yeah.
You got a penny?
It's a perfect guy.
Let's see. Upcoming events. July 20th, I'll be at Now That's Wrestling in Neenah, Wisconsin. Unfortunately, last month was supposed to be my first steel cage match with them, but weather conditions. So I found out lightning and metal doesn't, mix well.
They say something called like electricity, but I think it's fake. But
who knows at this point?
Science.
So that's going to be at Neenah, Wisconsin. Yeah. I'm very excited. And then in 2 days after that is Monday Night Raw. So I'm going to be going to Monday Night Raw. If anybody in the Wisconsin Green Bay area is going to be there, I would love to take photos and meet the fans.
Oh, it's
awesome.
That's it for July for now.
How about August? Anything?
August? Probably Now That's Wrestling again. I don't remember the date, unfortunately, but that's
we'll fill in the blanks for everyone. But outstanding. Thank you so very much for being on the show. Like I said, this is a show for wrestlers. Spread the word. So you just watch another episode, just turn heel.